We often assume power has to be loud. That confidence means taking up space, talking more, or commanding attention. But the truly elegant know better. Their influence is quieter, subtler, and infinitely more effective. Today, we're unpacking 7 quiet power moves that signal unmistakable class, even if most people never realize they've just been outclassed. Let's begin. Number 1. They let silence do the heavy lifting. If you've ever watched someone panic in a pause, you've witnessed this power move in action. Silence makes people nervous. That's exactly why it works. The quietly confident understand that it isn't awkward, it's strategic. They're not racing to fill it, they're letting it work. After all, silence after a statement implies certainty. Silence during someone else's rant implies judgment. And silence when everyone expects a response, that's not shyness, that's dominance. Wrapped in velvet gloves, they'll take a sip of water, maybe glance at the ceiling, let the moment stretch like an expensive yoga retreat. Meanwhile, everyone else starts mentally spiraling. Did I say something wrong? Are they offended? Are they plotting something? A truly elegant person lets the silence linger just long enough for others to wonder what they're thinking. And trust me, they do wonder. Meanwhile, the one who talks the most usually walks away having revealed the most about themselves, their insecurities, their need for approval, their vacation photos, their digestive issues, the name of their childhood hamster. Silence, on the other hand, leaves everything deliciously ambiguous. Number 2, they treat boundaries as non-negotiable, but never dramatic. You won't hear them post about their new era on Instagram or announce they're cutting off negative energy with a pastel infographic. They simply have boundaries, and they act on them without a press release. They don't explain why they're leaving the party at 9:15, even though it technically started at 8. They don't apologize for declining a third social event in a week, and they certainly don't text back after midnight, unless someone's in labor or there's a fire. No guilt, no nervous energy, just a polite, resolute "not tonight," delivered with the same calm as someone ordering chamomile tea. Their time, their energy, their mental bandwidth, all protected, not with barbed wire, but with something subtler, like an invisible velvet rope held by a doorman you somehow don't want to argue with. What's most powerful is how low-key it all is. No tantrum, no lecture, no, "here's why I'm saying no" TED Talk. You invite them last minute to a weekend getaway with 10 strangers and 1 shared bathroom, they'll simply say, "Thanks for thinking of me. I'll pass." No drama. Just peace, like a grown-up. And if you push, if you start negotiating, that polite smile turns about half a degree cooler. And suddenly, you realize the velvet rope wasn't a suggestion, it was the line. Because truly elegant people don't seek permission to protect their boundaries. They assume you'll figure it out. Number 3, they never laugh harder just because someone important made the joke. There's always one. The overlaugher, the first to clap, the loudest to agree. The human equivalent of a golden retriever at a networking event. The moment the boss makes a joke, barely a 4 out of 10, the overlaugher erupts like they've just heard the lost tapes of George Carlin. Suddenly, it's a comedy special, and they're front row, center, emotionally invested. Bonus points if they toss in a knee slap or lean forward in exaggerated amusement. Quietly powerful people, they don't do this. They'll laugh. If it's funny, they'll smile. If it's charming. But they're not auditioning for Employee of the Month. Sycophant edition. Their reactions are measured, authentic, which, in a world full of performative enthusiasm, is quietly disarming. And it sends a message that's sharper than any one-liner. I'm not performing for approval. I already have self-respect. They don't flatter to climb ladders. They bring value, and let that speak for itself. And when the joke isn't funny, they won't fake laugh to make you feel better. They'll politely blink and sip their coffee. Because nothing communicates quiet confidence like the ability to sit in social silence, without scrambling to fill it with noise. Number 4, they react with precision, not panic. Nothing gives away your power faster than overreacting, and nothing screams low social currency like emotional whiplash over something trivial. The quietly powerful, they don't flinch, they don't spiral, and they definitely don't post a quote from Rumi with suspiciously pointed captions like, "Some people are lessons, some are blessings." Know the difference. Nope. They pause. They assess. They choose their next move with the precision of someone picking out cufflinks or red lipstick under cool museum lighting. Deliberate, understated, effective. Their calmness under pressure is unsettling in the best way. They don't let external chaos dictate their internal settings. The well-composed know this. Reactivity is cheap restraint. That's luxury-grade behavior. And when you stay calm in a moment where everyone expects a reaction, you quietly seize the upper hand without lifting a finger. That's emotional discipline, the kind that flips power dynamics like a switch and never makes a scene, because true influence isn't shown in how loudly you react. It's in how calmly you don't. Number 5, they never pretend to know everything, especially when they don't. We all have that friend. The one who's been to Marrakech before it was cool, casually name drops economists in brunch conversation, and somehow always knows an obscure fact about ancient grains, the Roman Empire, and the latest privacy settings on WhatsApp. They know everything, allegedly. Truly composed, people don't play that game. They know the quiet power of saying, "I'm not sure." No faux wisdom, no tap dancing around the answer, just calm, grounded clarity. Because here's the thing. When someone tries too hard to seem like an expert on everything, it has the opposite effect. You can practically hear the Google tabs rattling around in their brain. Meanwhile, someone who actually has expertise doesn't need to show off. They're comfortable asking, "Can you explain that again?" Or, "What do you mean by that?" Not because they're clueless, but because they're curious and secure. The insecure need to sound smart. The elegant? They'd rather be smart. And that starts with knowing when to listen. Number 6, they ask questions that make other people feel smart. This is subtle and lethal in the best way. You know the type. While everyone else is performing like they're auditioning for a new job, this person sits back and calmly says, interesting. Could you walk me through that again?" And just like that, the energy shifts. They're not interrupting. They're not monologuing about their opinions on blockchain, oat milk, or 18th century naval warfare. They're drawing you out, not to manipulate, just to understand, because their goal isn't to dominate the conversation, it's to elevate it, and the person across from them suddenly feels like the smartest person in the room, which ironically makes the question asker the most magnetic person in the room. Because when someone makes you feel heard, seen, and intellectually validated, you associate them with that feeling. They don't need to impress you. They just made you feel impressive. It's a Jedi-level social skill. Ask thoughtful questions, then let the silence do the rest. That's the kind of charm you can't fake, and most people never notice until they're walking home thinking, "Wait, why do I like them so much?" Spoiler, it's because they made you feel brilliant. Number 7, they let you underestimate them, then smile. This might be the most elegant flex of all. Some people panic when they're not immediately validated. You can almost hear the scramble. "Well, actually, I have 3 degrees. I've worked with Fortune 500s. Oh, I've been to Japan, twice." Cue the LinkedIn bio disguised as small talk. But the quietly confident? They're immune to that urge. They're not in a rush to correct you or impress you. They know their value doesn't shrink just because you haven't noticed it yet. So when someone starts mansplaining or dramatically oversimplifies a topic they already mastered years ago, they'll just smile and nod. Let them talk. Let them assume. It costs nothing and reveals everything, because the truth always finds its way out. Eventually, someone connects the dots, realizes who they are, and that slow reveal? Oh, it's delicious. Not because they were hiding, just because they had the patience not to interrupt your assumptions. It's not passivity. It's power that doesn't flinch. The kind that doesn't need a drum roll or a PowerPoint presentation. They're not trying to be underestimated. They're just not threatened by it. And that unnerves people more than any mic drop ever could. Quiet power doesn't crave attention. It just commands it. So the next time you want to signal class, don't try harder. Go quieter. If you enjoyed this, give the video a like, subscribe, and browse my Amazon storefront for the elegant essentials, quietly doing the heavy lifting behind the scenes. And tell me in the comments, which quiet power move do you use or notice in others? As always, stay classy, manners matters.